think I'm live. Oh my gosh, hi. Hey, hi, hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to Harmony Portal Tarot Live. Welcome, welcome. It's Wednesday, y'all. How you doing? How you holding on? How you hanging in there? Energetically speaking, it's been a lot like this for the collective, at least that I tune into. Oh my gosh. How you doing? Not all is bad. Not all is good. It's just up and down, up, down, up, down, up, down, all over the place. How's it going? We got 3 people. We got 3 likes on the video. All right. Well, we are going to have a shorter than usual live stream today just because I do have to work my other job. But today, I already worked for about an hour and a half, and I'm going to log back on there if I have time after this one before I go pick the kids up. But we have parent-teacher conferences tonight and all the fun things. So I wanted to make sure I hit everything I needed to do today without missing anything. So yeah, we have a little bit we are going to talk about, and I figured so we can talk about this and have time to do our collective reading, we would probably forego the Cosmic Questions Corner and the giveaway, and instead I'll give away the free collective reading, and then of course that will allow me time to do any donations that come in as well. So check on in, let us know that you're here wherever it is for you, depending if you're on your phone or your computer or whatever. Because I'm talking a lot for my other job, I am drinking tea so I don't lose my voice. I had a bit of a sore throat after work last night, and I was just like, I don't want this to become a thing. I don't want this to escalate, so I'm gonna take my time. Our own backyard raised honey in this pumpkin spice tea. Yeah, flavor season. Taste the flavor of the season. That's what it says. All right. Well, we do have our first donation coming in. Just let me know who you are here in the chat. I don't want to dox you and give your name away if that's what you don't want. So you can go ahead and let me know who you are here in the chat, because I don't recognize the name. And if it is someone that's donated before, it's been a minute. So just let me know who you are here in the chat. And of course, you can also post your question. And then that way, when we get to your donation, your question is right there. Unless you want to hold your question until we hit that time, then that's fine as well. All right. So we do have 1 donation coming in, and we'll wait for that person to let us know they're here and they got it going on. All right. But I am going to at least get myself set up with the donation list in my little chat box here. All right. So that would leave 4 spots remaining. Okay. I'll put your first name, but not the last name, just to protect your privacy. But this is what we're working with so far. Full reading for Holly. And yes, let's go ahead and just talk about some of the things that I want to talk about. So anyone else have something, especially when you're about to level up or you're about to step into what feels like a whole new timeline or a new job or a new relationship or a new energy, going to a new school, again, new work, new something, new energy. And it's almost, I'll just read what I have here and then we'll discuss. How about that? So when you're about to level up, and of course step onto new timelines, higher timelines, wrenches get thrown in your plans. Things take 3 to 4 times as long as they should. Things that should be easy are now hard, and things that are normally straightforward suddenly make no sense or are just beyond comprehension. People somehow get sent to annoy or delay or just generally make things harder than they need to be or more difficult or just get someone flustered. Don't lose your head or your heart. Grounding into the earth, the original blueprint of the earth, or what it is that we're meant to be evolving into, and our own spirit can really help us. But stay the course, even if it does get difficult, because you cannot be held back from what is meant for you unless you yourself give it up. That's something that just became really aware to me when I was working my other job. I had some time between calls last night, and I was just like, boom. Yes, we almost feel like, oh, well, the world's against me, so I have no sovereignty, I have no free will, I have no power. Well, that's what they want you to think, and that's why they try so hard when you're about to level up, to knock you down a peg or two, to make you late, to make the person you're supposed to be communicating with late, to send someone into your path that's just really low vibration, and then that brings your whole mood down unless you're locked and loaded and completely protected. But if those people live in your own home, usually you feel safe in your home, and you will protect your home, but usually you don't protect yourself from the people in your home or the entities that are connected to the people that are living in your home. So it's all about not allowing other people's ish to just take up a front seat, or even sometimes the driver's seat in your own energy field. We don't need this. So when you are feeling this almost spirit of delay or annoyance, or things should be working but they're not, huge internet issues, huge, just certain apps just are not working, or they keep stalling out or closing out or timing out, or just not working properly. And you're like, I'm not the problem. I know I'm not the problem. But one thing that this is just me getting set up for my other job, just all the little hoops you jump through, getting things recorded, getting things sent, make sure you have all your paperwork. Just at every turn, it was not just this flow where I felt my energy was in flow and the circumstances themselves were in flow, but there was just outside interference, sabotage, looking to hook into me to then get me to self-sabotage. And I was not having it. I was like, somehow, like, the lights were on and I was home. I was like, I am not letting this happen. And even when I would catch myself getting frustrated, I'm like, no, this is just that outside interference not wanting me to level up. So I'm just gonna take some breaths, calm myself down, doing that box breathing. I think that's what it's called, where you breathe in as deep as you can, 4 seconds, hold it 4 seconds, release it for 4 seconds, hold your breath again for 4 seconds, and then breathe in again for 4 seconds, just in a loop until you feel really grounded and calm. And just really bringing your own spirit in to support you, just setting that intention. Of course, your spirit's always with you, but setting that intention is everything. It's really huge for things to shift, especially if you are just not wanting to go on a downward spiral of annoyance and nothing's moving forward correctly, and then that just puts a wrench in the whole rest of your day. You can actually cut these things off at the head and keep them almost like an isolated incident within your day, so it doesn't have to derail your entire day or your entire plan or whatever it is. But you're going to be seeing a lot of this between now and February. February is a month that has been popping up like crazy. I don't know what it is about February, but I do know what it is about February. Spoiler alert, there's another huge timeline shift. Does not mean we're just in this weird limbo until then. No, it doesn't. But there's going to be another very big level up, feel good timeline. This is like highest good timeline for all of us that we're stepping into. Between the 1st and the 15th is kind of the time frame I'm getting of February for so many people to start new jobs, new relationships, old things that are dying and passing away, closing out cycles, to make room for new. Basically, those tower moments are probably happening between now and the end of January, mid-January really, and then you're kind of having this weird limbo period. And again, for many of you, it's going to be different. Anywhere between now and that kind of up to about the 3rd week of January, your limbo period can be any time within that, or maybe the whole period of time. Of course, do your own tuning in to find out how long yours will be. But that doesn't mean your whole life is in a limbo period. It just might be one specific area, like career, or a relationship that you're trying to build. It's just not going anywhere. Different examples here. So wherever things seem to be falling apart, if you know in your heart of hearts that this is supposed to be moving forward, but yet it's not, do some deep diving into your own spirit to clear the way. And you might just literally have to be grounded in your own spirit for multiple times a day to keep your vibration up, because at every turn there's something looking to bring you down, to suck you down to these lower levels, and you're not having it. I'm not having it. We're not having it. Okay. So raise your hand or shout out in the comments if you're just like, yeah, not having it. I'm ready to take charge of my sovereignty and allow my path to remain wide open to the things that are in my highest good, in my highest alignment. That all being said, I think we're going to just get right into it. Our collective reading, maybe just tuning into the energies of what we've already talked about, and just anything we need to know about it, anything we can prepare for, any advice, just anything that needs to come up about us leveling up to these newer timelines, higher timelines, and just the spirit of delay and annoyance and sabotage that is looking to hook into our next big thing. Let's tune in. What's going on here? Yeah, it can't be stopped. These higher timelines will be available, and those that are diligently clearing their energy and ready to step into new energy, ready to stop being in victim mode, been there lots of times, just ready to own your own sovereignty, embody your own spirit as a human with a big spirit, just walking this planet. You're moving in a really big way into your own energy field. And when you take up all the residence and space in your own energy field, you leave almost no room for all these other entities to try to do so for themselves. So keep that in mind. And if you're feeling low, if you're feeling ill in any way, they usually try to pop things off around this time of year. It's 11/11. Around this time of year, a lot of illnesses, sickness, cold and flu season, all the fun things. But we don't have to go down those timelines. We don't have to participate in that. You can really focus on your health and your own wellness to rise above those timelines where there's a lot of illness going around. And even if the people in your own home or the people at your work or the people in your community are all ill and that's all everyone's talking about is, oh, this really bad, whatever that's going around, it doesn't have to affect you. It really doesn't. All right, what else do we need to know, those of us watching now and on the replay, about all of this? Yeah, because that's the thing. I love that this came out for us to just act as yet another third, fourth, fifth reminder in what we've been talking about. Look at the chains around their neck. They could easily lift them off, walk on by, exit stage left, as I like to say. They don't have to be tied to these old paradigms, these old timelines, these old belief systems, these old dynamics within work situations, relationships, all these things. No. And I love that this card comes out because at the heart of this card, it is about creativity. It really is about creating a timeline for yourself that feels more supportive, more sovereign, more like you're in control of, as much as a person can have control of their own life in this matrix system. But what else do we have coming in for those of us watching now and on the replay? We have here the Knight of Swords. So yes, you can easily, I won't say easily. Okay, it's simple, but it's not easy. Let's put it that way. It's simple, yes. Easy, maybe not so much. With practice, yes, it becomes easier. We're going to be able to move through anything that's looking to hook in, sabotage, derail. We're going to be able to be very aware of it. Even if you don't know where it's coming from, just being able to sense something in your energy field that is not you, it's not your energy, it's not your vibe, whatever it is. And this can even come piggybacking in on other people that come into your workspace or your home, whether they live with you or they're a visitor or whatever. You don't even have to be super psychic and pinpoint exactly what it is and where it comes from. You don't even have to go down any of those roads. Just sensing that something is looking to hook in or get you to play this game, and you're not here for it. You're not here for it. So even if you have to excuse if you're in a conversation with someone, even if you have to excuse yourself for, 5-10 minutes to go really ground yourself, bring your spirit into your energy field, and then return to the conversation at hand, do that. If you have the ability to do that so that you can remain in your power. You won't be derailed or sabotaged, or what's even worse than being sabotaged is when we sabotage ourselves or get tricked into seemingly sabotaging ourselves. But if we can really remain in our power, look what we have as a result. After all those battles and quarrels and chaos and conflict and all the fun things in this material 3D world, we will have this sense of victory and also recognition and respect. I see a lot of respect coming in for you standing your ground, for you not getting jaded by a current circumstance, or if someone is looking to, feed off your energy by, being passive aggressive or something, you're just not falling for it anymore. Even if in the past maybe you had with this person, you're just, you have that higher perspective. You're not falling for it. All right, what else do we need to know? And for some reason, I'm not seeing any chat, so I don't know This is not normal. Usually we have at least a couple hey, hi, hellos. So let me just go over to YouTube and do a little investigation. If you can hear me and you do have the ability to chat, just put anything. Hi, whatever. Just so I can test it. We're good to go. Okay. Very interesting. So we have all of these comments that I'm just not seeing. So if I have been seemingly ignoring you, I'm only seeing my comments on here. So, I mean, right in alignment with the message. They love to hijack the back end of my my feed here. So par for that course. Now I know I'm on the right track talking about this very specific thing today. So we're going to, yes, continue our reading, but I want to take a little intermission just to catch up on your comments so that you know I'm not ignoring you. All right, Amber's here. Hello. Mary Jana, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Hello. John's here. Hello. There's Holly. Okay, so it is Holly. That is your username. I love it. Oh, you've never donated. Well, that's exciting. Let's get in. We're going to get into it for you. That's going to be so fun. Marlene is here, and she's got her question. Holly's got her question. That's awesome. Yay. Oh my God, I swear, I'm thinking there were some attachments to the guests I had over the weekend that were influencing and urging me to just blurt things out. Absolutely. Absolutely. And just you even kind of scratching your head like, could that be a thing? Most likely you're tuning into the fact that yes, it most likely was. February is the last pass for Saturn return in my chart. Oh, isn't that nice? Isn't that good? Yeah. Oh, you have a pretty strong Saturn though. If you're having a Saturn return when Saturn's in Aquarius, I think it's in Pisces for Vedic astrology, but that is probably the best placement for Saturn. If I had to be honest, and if I could go personally choose a placement for my Saturn, which my Saturn's in the 12th house in Virgo, in Chitra Nakshatra, so like it's fine, but if I had anything to choose, I would totally put my Saturn in Aquarius, in Shatabisha Nakshatra, where it is right now, which I love that I actually started my job in that energy. So I kind of have a birth chart for my new job, and I love that for me. But yeah, but a Saturn return can definitely be difficult, John. So hang in there. It's going to get better. You're in limbo in every aspect of your life. I feel ya. It felt like that for me from like May until about this week this year. Like that was my limbo period. I knew what I wanted to do, but the timing just was not right for me to be able to do it. And I was just chomping at the bit to get going because I could feel this timeline just coming into my like actual reality so strong, but I just couldn't push it forward. And I know I'm like finally starting to see things happen, and it just feels so good. Finally. Marlene, hi Brandy Lynn. Oh, you texted me. Oh my gosh. Suncease is here. Hello. May for you as well. Yeah, and I'm trying to remember what happened to me. I think it was Saturn that went retrograde. That's what it was. Saturn did go retrograde, and Saturn is our effort and finally being able to reap the reward for hard work. When Saturn goes retrograde, it doesn't mean that, oh, you're not getting that hard work, you know, what you've put in, you're not getting that. No. It doesn't mean that. But sometimes when Saturn goes retrograde, we kind of are asked or forced sometimes to like have to deal with things. And then even as we deal with things, we think, okay, well, I dealt with that. So now this thing should be different. Things should be shifting, but they're not. But we are in this really beautiful period right now from November 11th, which was 2 days ago, through November 18th. We're in this window where Saturn is considered stationary. It goes direct, I want to say, on the 15th or 16th. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I think across the world, it's the 16th, and here in the US, it's the 15th. But that about week before and after it stations to go direct, it literally is sitting still. And Saturn is at its most powerful. If you can start anything, any new beginning, even if you're just writing things out to make a plan, and especially where Saturn sits in your chart, again, for me, 12th house, for you, it might be the 3rd house or the 2nd house or the 10th house, whatever, where Saturn's transiting in your chart, and the house or houses that Saturn rules. In Vedic astrology, it rules both Capricorn and Aquarius. In Western astrology, I do believe it's only Capricorn. So these are kind of clues as to what areas of life you can look into to have a new beginning or a fresh start for yourself, or to be able to finally reap that abundance or reward for what's been held back for you. So yeah, those of you that, especially since about May, have felt like life has slowed down, but not in a good way, it's finally going to start to pick back up. And for many of you, that does feel financially and also with like deep connections in your life. All right, what else? What else do we need to know? Actually, I'm going to go to, sorry, if you can hear my dogs freaking out downstairs. I didn't put them in their crates. They're just kind of hanging around. But they're barking at someone walking by with their dog, most likely. All right, what do we need to know right now? We have all potentialities. I open the dance of synchronicities. Yes, yes. And this really is about you bringing your spirit online really big and strong and standing in that sovereignty. It does open up new potentials and greater potentials for you that were not available. And even if you were standing as big in your power as you could at the time, they weren't available because we were too enmeshed as a collective in this 3D matrix. But this veil ever since really September, about September 13th is the date that's coming to mind for me. But it really started to pick up and kick off even greater since about October 29th, a few days leading up to Samhain, Halloween time. But yes, things are opening up, but the sabotage has got even more inundating, or just like white on rice, just I'm right there to try to knock you down or trip you up because this new beginning is within reach, and I'm not going to let you have it so easy. And old versions of us, many of us watching, old versions of us would have had delay after annoyance, after frustration, after, well, the site's down again, and we would have eventually just given up because it's like, if this is going to be this hard, I guess I don't want it. I guess it's not for me. It's not meant to be. This is the universe redirecting me because this is not meant for me. But no, this is meant for you. But yet there's still all this resistance, and where there should be flow, there's this resistance. It's because we're leveling up. It's because things are shifting. And every time we have one of these big shifts, and again, we're going to have another one around February 1st through the 15th, somewhere in there. Every time we have one of these big shifts, the darkness on this planet gets real scared, and they pop off. It's almost like an animal caught in a trap is kind of the energy that's being brought here. Is they're scared, they're hurt, there's nowhere to go, they can't hide. And then you come in, you're wanting to free this darkness, literally free the darkness so we can access those higher, almost sounded like success, access those higher timelines. But then the 3D matrix is like snarling and ready to bite you, even though you're trying to set it free because it doesn't want to be set free. Maybe the animal in the trap does, absolutely, but the 3D matrix and the controllers of said matrix do not want it to be set free. But what else can we focus on? Advice, wisdom, guidance as we move through and level up to these higher timelines. Embrace. Remember your primordial nature. You are a vessel. A vessel that contains what? For those in the back, a big spirit, a big fractal of the original source creator that is here to hold space, to be a vessel, to contain that spirit, to bring even more light to this planet. We are the lightning rods. That's what I'm hearing. We are the lightning rods. So do not lose heart. Do not lose your head. If you are like feeling like you're going to blow a fuse or a gasket, get somewhere safe and express that anger. Absolutely. It's a valid emotion. But don't allow that anger or that rage or that just frustration to completely derail you off your amazing new level up and your new timeline, because that's exactly what they want. So you almost are killing them with kindness is what I'm hearing. And we have divine sensuality. I reveal your talent to enchant. And this is very much like a pregnant lady holding that womb, that impregnated womb, the baby within the belly. And this is very, very high priestess meets empress energy right here. And this does feel, we have the number 10 here, the number X and the number 10. And I just heard X marks the spot. But this 10 is about completion. This is funny. Look at this. Yes. The 10. The 10. We have the 10 twice. So these things cannot be stopped. That divine sensuality specifically surrounding the divine feminine doesn't mean that the divine masculine doesn't count or it has no business here. Nothing like that. But it's the divine feminine that is leading the way, ushering in these new timelines, ushering in this higher energy. Because that divine feminine is very receptive and will hold space for that divine masculine to then step up and take the action that's needed. That's how that's going to work. Oh, I love this. Beautiful mandala, isn't it? Oh, I love it. Yeah, these cards, these are the Medicine Woman cards. I love this. The Medicine Woman Oracle. Very shamanic vibes, which, you know, I'm all about that these days. All right, I feel like we're going to go to the career section, and I'll catch up on your comments as well here when we're done. And then we're going to get into Holly's reading, which she already has her question out, so I will scroll back and find that when the time comes. I realized actually that my son Boston is having a Sati Sati. That's when Saturn is transiting your moon. It takes about 7 years. It's the years leading up to the transit of the moon, the actual transit of the moon, and then after the Saturn has transited the moon. He's an Aquarius moon and sun. So he's got Saturn just really doing its due diligence over there. I think he's handling it pretty well, though. He's also got Mars in the mix over there. So he's got a very heavy, loaded. For him, it's the 7th house because he's a Leo ascendant. And my husband's the opposite. He's the Aquarius ascendant with the Leo, loaded house Leo in the 7th house. So those poor guys. Yeah, we have the Foresight card falling out. It didn't quite fall to the ground. It kind of fell into the lap and off to the side. So it says, pay attention to the things that are important to ensure wealth. Be far-sighted and alert. And that's something that I was talking about earlier today with Amber on here. Not on here, but Amber that is on here. About how so much of our self-worth really is tied to how much money we make or what our job is or just how we, you know, earn in this world. And that is shifting. And we were talking about that, and it's going to be these front runners, you know, those of us usually that are the ones that have difficulty, you know, keeping stable income coming in or have been, you know, jobless at times and then have a job and then that job doesn't work out. And so we have to find another job, you know, all these instabilities. We're the almost like anchoring in energy for this more divine feminine being able to just receive money because you inherently have that worth and that value. Not because you worked so hard for it or, you know, you were better than that other guy and knocked him down 40 pegs and now you get all the money. It's that system is dying, and it's dying a very slow and ugly death that we're all witnessing right now. But yes, take heart and be very far-sighted, meaning looking to the future. Stop looking to the past for, well, that one time that job didn't work out, and well, I've only ever earned this much a year to date, and I thought by this age I'd be making more money at some point. Yes, these are all things that have happened, and they're all valid. And I would say the only reason to look back on these things would be to go back and heal certain instances where maybe you did get let go from a job that you felt really called to, or you know, the pay just wasn't there, but you loved the job, you know, whatever scenario, or, you know, just never finding a job that really brought you this deep sense of purpose. You can go back to these situations and old timelines and heal that. You can absolutely do that. And that is beneficial because you can heal through time and space, and it reverberates back to where you're at now and beyond. If you can go back and do that past healing and even past life healing. And you don't have to go nickel and diming into all these past lives and know the ins and outs of all of that. You don't even have to do that heavy lifting. Just setting the intention with your true spirit to come in and heal and cleanse and clear any limiting beliefs surrounding money or the way money's earned, the way we tie our value and our worth to money. We can shift these timelines. We can actually make the past actually work for our benefit rather than hold us back any longer. What else do we need to know? Anything else? Vacation. Start a perfect vacation and enjoy the freedom. Take time to recharge. And this doesn't mean you have to book some tropical vacation and spend a whole bunch of money. No, this can be a staycation. This can just be, you know, an hour in the afternoon with a hot bath, or whatever vacation means to you, or whatever you have the means for, or whatever you have the time for. But if you can book some sort of vacation that feels very therapeutic. It's not a vacation where you're having to go to see all these sites and there's this big agenda that by the time your vacation's over, you're exhausted and need a vacation from your vacation. No, this is a very calm, cleansing type of vacation. And again, for some of you, this might just be a weekend staycation where you're just working. By working, I don't mean like working, but like working on yourself, doing healing, nurturing yourself, doing the self-care. From home or from a hotel room or from, you know, 3 towns over, you're staying at a resort. I don't know, whatever it is for you. But a vacation to where you can really tune into your own energy, whatever that looks like. This to me mostly just feels like a vacation from the 3D world. So whatever that looks like, as far as your spiritual connection, your self-care, that could all qualify as vacation. I just saw wealth on the back of the deck. Should have grabbed it. All right. We also have social status. You will reach the heights of fame and society. Don't get arrogant. But I actually see this going in reverse for those of us watching. It's more, we don't feel, again, not feeling worthy, not feeling like we deserve that recognition. Even those of us that have some sort of platform or, provide some sort of service or goods to the world, and there's just crickets in your business, or you're wanting that recognition. Just hold that highest timeline for yourself as being recognized, as being supported by the work you love. Because as you hold space in the now moment, the here and now moment, you can create those timelines or align with those timelines much easier than if you're just kicking the rocks in front of your shoes like, this will never happen for me. Gosh darn it. The time for all that is over. Yes, we can have moments where we do feel like a victim, and of course, feel your feelings about it. I'm never going to say spiritually bypass that. But the days and weeks and months and years that so many of us do get caught up in that energy and just live from that place, those days are over for so many of us. I mean, we still have access to that if we choose that, but so many of us, that doesn't feel comfortable anymore. And I don't know if comfortable is the right word, but it's almost like that misery loves company of, well, this is what I know, and even though I'm depressed and sad, like, it's what I know, so I do it pretty well. It's like stepping out of Eeyore and into Tigger energy. But I think the bridge between Eeyore and Tigger is very Piglet. I don't know why all the poo analogies just came to me right now, but that was fun. Yeah, it's like we're stepping out of that martyr, victim, woe is me, Eeyore energy, and bridging the gap to Tigger, kind of stepping into that Piglet energy of, yes, sometimes he's nervous, sometimes he's unsure, but yet he also steps into that full energy a lot of times and takes that leap of faith and just does the thing and laughs and has fun. He's not as carefree yet as Tigger, but it's the bridge to get us to that Tigger energy of just, let's do what we feel. I love it. All right, let's go to the shadow work cards. Just anything we need to know that's coming up that we're not already aware of, or if it's something we're already aware of, just to shed a little more light on it. What do we need to know? We have battle within and avoidance. Okay. Yes, as a recovering, still probably working her way through the avoidant attachment style, this really speaks to me. But also the battle within. That really is when we avoid others, we avoid ourselves. It's as simple as that, and it may not feel like that, but it really is. When we avoid that deep connection with others for fear of getting hurt, we also avoid that deep connection with ourselves. And sometimes, happiness always is an inside job, but so much of what we've been taught, shown in, romantic comedies and movies and love songs, it's all about finding that person and them completing you and they bring you the happiness. No. Even when things are all rainbows and roses and that kind of honeymoon period of a beautiful connection, eventually we do have to get real within ourselves. It always comes back around to us. And we can project and we can blame onto the other person, but it always comes back home. It always comes back home. And yes, maybe they are the problem most of the time, but there's something that is in your eyes making them a problem that is still within you that you're working through. That doesn't mean you're wrong or they're more wrong, or you're right, or they're more right. None of that. We don't even have to point any fingers. But again, Amber and I were kind of talking about this. It's like when we get triggered by something, it's because there's still something within us that got triggered that can still be healed. There's still always deeper layers of healing. But when you can get to that point of complete detachment and nothing annoys you, nothing bothers you, I think it's a rare state. I know there are some yogis in the world and monks and people just like up in the Himalayas and tucked away in monasteries that can reach that point. But you try to live in this 3D world in a family setting or, as a business owner or, someone who's out there mingling with people, it almost feels impossible. I'm not saying it is, but it's going to be much more difficult than those monks and those, in the ashrams and them up in the Himalayas just meditating all day and basically just having all these out-of-body experiences. We're in here doing some really heavy lifting in these matrix systems, and it does a lot of times feel like an internal battle. I'll just read this. It says, the greatest war you wage is against yourself, inner conflict, but also resolution. And that's the word I'm really circling and honing in on, is the resolution. And look, it's like a soldier here going to battle, but there's no one to fight. He's the only one. He's well equipped with all these weapons, but it's just him. Let that speak for itself. Very interesting. And then the avoidance card says, it's key to see the need to avoid discomfort, but also to overcome it and thrive. And I think this is where so many of us are like, earlier we were talking about, feeling that victimhood. Well, at least it's what I know. So, Eeyore it up over here. No, because it's almost becoming more uncomfortable to stay in those just not feeling worthy, not feeling good enough, always feeling like life's happening to you rather than for you. And so many of us have played those cards so often, we're done. Like, ugh. Even if we haven't fully learned lessons from it, I don't even know that we need to or have to. It really feels more like once we move into these higher timelines, there will be no need to even have to, maybe from time to time dip into that, but not at all as frequently as that Eeyore energy. Piglet, he still becomes unsure of himself or, nervous, worried, anxious here and there, but he also has a nice balance of carefree and just knowing that everything is possible for him, that we're dipping into. So we're stepping out of this avoidance. And of course, it starts within. We have to stop avoiding our own shadow, avoiding our own darkness, avoiding our own dark and negative thoughts, whatever that is. It's going to be different for each of us. We each have our own, and even if we feel like this life has been a pretty smooth road, we have darkness and bad deeds from all these past lives and things that have, they're still in our energy somehow, some way. That we can, again, even if we're not nickel and diming every little thing that's ever happened, but if we can tune in, bring our spirit in, and just ask our spirit to cleanse us of the dark, or to bring that darkness up to the surface to then be let go of, or healed, or like I like to say, peeled away, because it doesn't need to be here anymore. And just you alone setting that intention can be the difference between something just weighing you down for the rest of your life and you finally being able to let it go. And this is a practice I do usually in the bath or the shower. It's just a really good way because you can see that visual representation of the water cleansing your body, your energy, your aura, and then going down the drain. Or same in the bath, you're soaking it in, or soaking in a bath of water, and you're just allowing everything that's not serving you, that's been holding you back, that's ready to be let go of, just let it go into the water. And then when you step out of the bath, you can pull that plug and watch it all go down the drain. I do these practices daily at this point, and I have seen huge results. And I know for those of you that are more on the more logical side of things, analytical side of things, this maybe feels very woo-woo, but it is woo-woo Wednesday. So it's okay to dip our toe into the woo a little bit, because more and more the woo-woo-ness is being deemed, like they're actually being able to scientifically prove some of these woo-woo concepts or woo-woo energies. They're actually starting to be proven here and there with science, years and years after the fact of feeling them on an energetic level. We're now being able to prove them with actual concrete science and evidence. So yes, that feels like a pretty complete message. So I'm going to catch up on your comments, and then we're going to get into Holly's reading right after that. I'm going to put a couple of these cards away here. But of course, I have to go over here to this chat because my other chat is not working today. Yay! Okay. Yeah, people waiting for things to happen. Good, finally, right? I know that's the word. I'm like, finally! Big sigh of relief. Yes, it's happening. That's usually what I think. There's too many setbacks, then it's not meant to be. And I used to be a total subscriber to that. And so many times I'm like, well, I guess, I gave it the good fight for sure, but then I would just give up because I'm like, well, this obviously is not meant for me. And of course, when I was tuning into Archangel Michael all the time, I would get that message. This is not your path. This is not meant for you. But yet I could still feel in my heart that it absolutely was. And that's the difference. Are you trusting your head or are you trusting your heart? Are you trusting some random spirit guide to tell you how to live your life, or your own true spirit? Because there is a difference. You can feel the difference. Even if you're not the most keen on feeling the subtle energies, the more you practice, the more you will start to feel it. You will know what's true for you just by hearing someone's words. Even if you don't, this is a thing. Even if I don't like someone's words, I can sometimes hear truth in them. I'm like, no, you're absolutely right. I don't want to admit you're right, but you're totally right. I do that thing. Or that is the way the world is. Or, whatever it is. The truth doesn't always have to feel like rainbows and roses and the most amazing thing ever. Sometimes the truth literally hurts. It really does. But it's about just really honing in that discernment. Yeah, the middle of it with Aquarius moon. Yep. That's Boston. Aquarius moon, sun, Mars. Gosh, he's got something else there. He's got like 5 planets in Aquarius, so he's really feeling the love from Saturn right now. Oh, my confidence goes down if I'm unemployed for a while. Yeah, same. Yeah, we've been taught to evaluate ourselves based on the amount we earn, which is not right. Yeah, we are worthy just because we exist. Absolutely. I mean, that deer that was out in my yard with her little babies earlier this morning she was breathe out and all this big cloud of like cold air would come out her nose. And I'm like, look at her go. Like, she's out there, her and her babies just foraging for grass and food and just, taking the slow route to life. But there's no worth tied into her being able to find this one really beautiful rosebud. If she doesn't do that today, then she is unworthy. Nature just does what nature does. Nature doesn't have to, get permission from someone else to do its thing. It just does it. Or it doesn't. If it gets denied somehow, there's a fence in the way, or someone shoots it, or, whatever the case may be. But nature isn't out here constantly asking for permission, looking for that outside validation. Nature just shows up and does its thing. And we are nature. But yeah, we've been so deconditioned and reprogrammed to go against our own nature that when we do step back into our own nature, it almost feels unnatural. Anyone relate to that? I sure do. Yeah, this is the second time when I've got a vacation inclination, which is indicating the beach. Yeah, it looked very tropical, or at least a nice acclimate. Is that the right word? Environment, where you're not like sitting there shivering with blue fingers and lips and just cold as all get out, like it's about to get up in my neck of the woods. Yeah, this feels very, very good environment. Let's see. Yes. Hi, Brianna. Welcome. Yeah, healing the shadow and activating the liver, savior, liver. Lover. I got it. I gotcha. Liver. Well, hey, maybe that was a Freudian slip, because the liver is a detoxifying organ. We're detoxifying the lover, the savior, and the magician archetypes within us to actually align them with the truth. I love that you actually slipped up and said liver, because that's so true. And we store a lot of pain and anguish and rejection in our liver as well. So yeah, you can tune into your own liver and cleanse. And my heart just did a weird, it's still doing it, weird palpitations as I said that. So there must be some sort of energetic connection to the liver and heart. And I don't think I've ever read or known that. But for some reason, as I'm really tuning into my liver, my heart started doing something weird. Maybe I need to do some aligning in that regard right there. I've been doing a lot of like the lower 3 chakra work, big time. Like that's been my theme since about September, just lower 3 chakras all day, every day. But I do have this call to start moving up the chakras up to the heart, higher heart, throat. I'm really feeling the need to start working my way up now. Yeah. Yeah, just like the imaginary exercise Laura does of cleansing ourselves in the divine fire and standing on top of the rock and looking out over our kingdom. Yeah, with our staff or our scepter and our, just looking out over all the land. I love that. I love doing that. It's funny because I notice if I do that, because I forget to protect my energy like in public sometimes, because just being in public is very overstimulating for me. So if I forget, sometimes I'll just kind of close my eyes or do it like one eye open so I don't look like too much of a weirdo, just sitting there like zoned out with my eyes closed, just envisioning all this going on. But I notice if I do that kind of sovereignty exercise in public, then people really start staring in my direction. Whether not because they saw me embody that, but just because I become like this weird magnet energetically for people. So when I want to go real incognito, I definitely don't do that when I'm in public. So this is what I think is really beautiful about learning some of these exercises is you realize you can tone it up or turn it down. Whatever the situation calls for. If you want to just go to the store, not be bothered, not be recognized, not be hassled, you can just almost cloak yourself and be completely invisible to anyone that you don't need to be visible to, And then on the other regard, if you want to be noticed in a crowd or in a job interview, you really turn that light up so you cannot not be recognized. We have control here, and we're going to learn how to wield that control over our own energy field in much bigger ways moving forward. I just see it, and it's really beautiful. I love that. And my baths are not just baths. It's more of energy work. So much happens. I know it almost feels like a job, but like a job I'm so ready for. I love it. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely very self-care. I'm doing so much healing in the bath, but I almost then need to just go lay down and sleep after that because I'm just constantly doing so much work lately that it's like I got 4 jobs right now. But hey, I love it. I asked for a detox of anger and resentment from the liver, spleen, pancreas. There you go. Just put a bubble of protection so that no one notices me. There it is. Yeah. And there are times we do want to be noticed, but then other times we're just like, leave me alone. I'm busy right now. I'm busy not peopling right now. Not me right now, but just, yeah. All right, so let's move into Holly's question. I'm gonna actually put these last few cards away. So we got some really good stuff coming in. Just do not allow yourself to get derailed because haters be hating out there. Whether it's actual people in your life that don't like to see you shine because you're leaving them in the dust, or entities working through certain people, certain situations. Just be very spiritually and energetically diligent about what's going on out there. And you'll be all right. It's hard work though, keeping up with our own cleansing and clearing of our energy field, and making sure we're getting good water and good food and enough rest. Like it's a constant thing. It really is just constant. But if we're up for the challenge, we're going to see some really beautiful benefits and results of all of that hard work, especially now that Saturn is moving in that direct motion. I love this for us. All right. So I am going to scroll back up and try to find Holly's question. Oh, not on there. It's not on there. It's over here. So interesting, the idea of having the intention of not being noticed, of being according to what we need or want. Yes. Yeah, I've been playing with this for about 2.5 years. I knew about it before, but I didn't really go all in on it like I have over these past 2.5 years. Yeah, I will get going now. Have to work on my mandala. Well, you have fun. Yes, we will have a wonderful time. I will see you Friday. Oh, actually, thank you for reminding me. I will not see you guys Friday. I'm so sorry. My last note of agenda. I'm out of town. No live Friday. I'm going to go visit my mom. It's her birthday month, so me and the kids are going to go up and say hi and hang out and go roller skating and do all the fun things. So that's what we're going to be doing on Friday. So, sorry about that. But most likely I will be back Wednesday. And I don't know my schedule moving forward because I need to try to get a pretty consistent work schedule with my other job. So I got to really figure out Wednesday, what time is it, day or is it night, that is better for our live stream. And same with Friday. So we'll play it by ear together. Okay, so Holly, that's right. I'm just gonna look up Holly's question. All right. So and I will timestamp this, Holly, just so if you do want to come back and see this again, we're at 48 minutes, 28 seconds. 48:28. Okay, for Holly. Perfect. Okay. And the question for Holly is, what do you see coming in love? I'm single and Scorpio. Okay. Perfect. Let's tune in for Holly. Ooh, well, on the split, we have the 4 of Wands. So you definitely have a person out there that is a really great match that will eventually lead to that long-term commitment that I feel like you're looking for. I just heard Taurus, so I don't know if this person is a Taurus or you're meeting them during Taurus season. I guess we can really tune in and find out what's going on with this person. Yeah, and this just might be your current energy of like, yeah, everything's like, you're literally like, one more thing and I'm going to snap, but like everything's fine. But I see for you, Holly, as you move out of this, because things are shifting for you. Things are shifting for so many of us right now. As you move out of this energy, you're actually clearing a lot that just doesn't need to be in your energy field. And that will bring love into your life. But let's just see if we can read into your next person, your next significant person for Holly in love. What does she need to know? Yeah. Yeah, when you heal yourself, the universe is healing or helping heal this person, because I do feel this person has probably been through it in love as well. Just maybe having a lot of unrequited love, or just like right right person, wrong timing, and now this person's in a long-term committed relationship and they finally are letting this person go from their heart. I really do see that. And that could even be reflective of your energy. If there was someone like that in your past that now they're in a relationship and you're finally realizing this is never going to happen for us, most likely, I'm going to let them go. If that doesn't resonate as your energy, then this is this person, your next person's energy. But let's just see if we can get any information about this person. Ooh, yeah. So we have fire sign here. So most likely you're meeting them around Taurus season. So this is your Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, sun, moon, or rising. It doesn't have to just be their sun sign. But yeah, fire and water. That's a quite the passionate combination, fire and water. Yeah, but what I see for you currently and this person currently, they're just kind of doing their own thing. You're doing your own thing, just trying to put one foot in front of the other, especially with the way things have been energetically. But there's a lot of enlightenment coming. And we were talking about this upcoming limbo period for kind of our little collective reading we did. And I do see that this, maybe kind of during the holidays, not limbo so much as nothing's going on, but as far as love life, maybe, you're focused on more family stuff or work stuff or just life in general, just, ticking things off that to-do list of being a human. But then after the new year, and it's weird because I said new year and then I heard the actual new year, meaning March, March 20th or whenever that spring equinox is. Things are really going to start literally blossoming and blooming in your love life. So I don't know if this is you putting yourself out there or you love finding you. There's something going on in love around March that just feels really supportive. But let's just see. And I don't know if you have any follow-up questions. Yeah, my current energy. Yes, that's my past energy. Yeah. And usually when that's your past energy, you'll meet someone and then they'll be telling you kind of their dating history or the past. You're like, oh my God, me too, me too, me too. Because usually we are drawn to people who have similar pasts to us. Not always. I mean, sometimes they can be completely opposite, but a lot of times when we're learning these deep lessons in relationships, sometimes we have very similar pasts, or, oh my gosh, you had that happen to you? Oh my gosh, that was horrible, wasn't it? And you can almost vibe or just really connect because things have been so, for lack of a better word, shitty in certain situations. But let's just see if we can tune into the energy of this next most significant love for Holly. Woohoo! Yeah, getting to know each other. And this to me feels like a very slow and steady approach to love. You don't have to rush into anything or, make any big promises of I'm going to love you forever right off the bat. No, this just really does feel that as you get to know each other, that connection strengthens and deepens. And that really is most likely the best way to build a stable relationship, to then lead to something that is a honeymoon. Again, this to me feels like future, at least into next year's energy, but we're kind of getting a sneak peek of what you can expect in that next significant relationship in your life. So most likely I just heard you might have to date a few frogs or meet a few people that you really understand pretty close or close to the beginning of the relationship or connection that you're like, this just isn't it for me. But then you try to almost like, well, let's just give it time. Let's just see what happens. If there's not that instant spark and every time you think of this person, you're just like, I would say it's probably not for you. You know what I mean? Because when you know, and when you're kind of trying to push something because you like want some excitement in your love life, but it's just not quite hitting the right mark. You can just allow those types of connections to either become friends or just kind of go by the wayside, or, just let them know thanks, but no thanks. We dropped a few cards. So we got some slippery energy here. Okay. This makes a lot of sense as to why this was the slippery energy. We have stay optimistic about your love life because you do deserve love. You do. And that's the thing is, I don't know how long you've been single, but if it's been a hot minute, or if the last relationship you got out of, you're just like, oh my gosh, do I even ever want to do this again? This is just so grueling. And I just know that you do deserve love. And the more you can basically date yourself, love yourself, heal yourself, pull cords or cut cords from those past connections, or just even your feeling of lack of love in your life, that can also create a weird kind of energy in your field that you can cleanse those. Just really tune in tune in, and anything that just feels less than the optimum for you, clear it, cleanse it, let it go. And that will help to cultivate this really beautiful energy within you that is going to be very attractive, very magnetic to the right person, because you are lovable. You do deserve love. And positive thinking and faith, just knowing that this person is this person that most likely you will marry, will be able to have that beautiful life with. I'm not saying it's always easy, because relationships can be difficult, but they can be the most amazing thing ever as well, and everything in between. But it's worth it. With this card, I see that this next relationship, the significant one, the one that you know right away, and it just continues to be green flag after green flag. If there's any red flags, you already know, duck and run, tuck and run, do what you need to do, because you're not about to get tangled up in something that's just going to take you on this downward spiral again. I feel like I need one more, just like word of advice, love, support for Holly. Let's see. Anything else Holly needs to know about her love life, moving into the future, and even now in the meantime, waiting for this love to come in. We got two of them. So warmth and vulnerability. So I'll read both of these for you. So I focus on warmth and let it guide all my interactions. No matter how others behave, I choose to respond warmly. With warmth, I can melt any icy exterior. I can soften any hard feelings. I can microwave any pizza. Today, I'll adopt the saying, kill them with kindness. Didn't I say that earlier? I thought I said that earlier. I don't say that often. I say it sometimes, but like not often. So if you can remember when I said kill them with kindness, I think it had something to do with the Matrix and the animal caught in the trap. I don't know. Go back and watch it, because I feel like I'm being really guided or directed, Holly, for you to go back and hear that again, because it might also pertain somehow to your love life. I know that sounds weird, but trust. Trust yourself. Trust the message. Yeah. Kill him with kindness and turn myself into a warm and loving serial killer. Oh, these little cards are so fun and cute. And then the vulnerability card. So I allow myself to talk about my feelings without fear of external judgment or internal drama. And especially, Holly, if you had relationships in the past where you'd share your heart, you'd share how you were feeling, and the person would either deny you, reject you, shut you out, blame you because you had an emotion, because you had a conflict that you wanted to bring up. You don't have to bring that into a future connection. So don't bring that fear of being judged for having these feelings and emotions. It says here, I feel like a kindergartner. Everything gets lighter and easier and filled with the comforting glow of honesty. And hey, no wonder kindergartners seem so fun and stress-free. So kindergartner, not meaning immature, but kindergartner just meaning open to love, open and ready to share your heart with someone, because that next potential person coming in has done that inner work way beyond anyone that you've been with in the past that was very emotionally like non-available or closed off, or would throw your emotions back in your face, blame you for having emotions. This is not going to be your next person. This person will at the very least hear you out and hold space. And even if they have trouble sometimes showing their emotions, your emotions do not scare them off. So of course, slow and steady. Don't, first date be blubbering over your salad or whatever. And then this one guy, nuance, you know the drill. But yeah, this looks really good. And, just keep the faith between now and when this person comes into your life. Date yourself, love yourself, heal yourself, nurture yourself. Because if love's not coming from someone else, it damn well better be coming from yourself, Holly. All right. I hope that resonated for you. Yes, trust. I can trust the message. This situation is calling you to just have some faith. It's like little Cupid is working in the background here to bring you two together. It will happen. Aw, you're so welcome, Holly. Thanks again for your donation. It was lovely to read for you today. All right. So I think we are, 53 seconds away from the 1 hour that I allotted us time for. So I guess we will leave it at that today. But if you're just joining us and you missed the collective reading, we had quite a little doozy at the beginning where we were talking about all this stuff. And then we went into the collective reading, and I feel there's value in it. It feels like, okay, we've got some armor here to help us into these higher timelines. We're ready to rock. It's not always going to be easy. Let's just put that caveat out there. It's not always going to be easy, but we have the support from our own spirit and from maybe our little tribe of people who are also awakened to hold our hands on this journey of life that is both filled with ups and downs, but we're getting through it together. All right, you guys, much love. Again, I will not be here Friday, but I will see you guys Wednesday, either around 11 a.m. Mountain Time or 6 p.m. Mountain Time. I'm not sure. I want to say we have a basketball game at 6 p.m. next weekend. So I'm going to have to really look at the schedule and get my life planned out. And you guys will be the first to know. As soon as I know, I will put it on the community tab here. If you're on a computer, it doesn't always show up in your feed. So if you want to know what the schedule is, your best place to find that would be if you just go to my page and click the community tab, both on the phone and computer. And you'll be able to see like the most recent news that I have to share with you guys. So, all right, you guys, this was fun. Thanks for hanging out with me. And thanks again so much for all those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see each and every one of you right back here at Harmony Portal Tarot Live. We will see you on next Wednesday, a week from today, at some point. All right, much love, peace, and I will see you then. Bye.